The individual and society. Act 1. Abigail's initial instinct is to protect herself. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar. The first mention of witchcraft, and Abigail seized the opportunity to accuse Elizabeth Proctor because she ruined her relationship with John. Act 2. Proctor's affair. Every moment judged for life. John Proctor's guilty conscience makes him overreact. John Proctor stands up as Elizabeth accuses him of infidelity even though he knows his sin. Act 3. Abigail blaming others. It is a lie, sir. Mary Warren accuses the girls of lying, and Abigail names others that she knows are witches so that she can be saved. Act 4. Proctor tearing the confession stands up for what he believes in. Proctor tears the paper and crumbles it. Proctor refuses to sign the confession and rips it up as he stands up for himself as an individual, even though he knows the severe consequences. The abuse of power. Act 1. Paris abuses the power of his office to maintain his position. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted. This shows the puritanical society that they live in. People would judge him as he is one of the people setting the laws, yet it is his household breaking them. Act 2. Abigail is seeking to achieve her objective of removing Elizabeth. She is somewhat mentioned. She is happy for Elizabeth Proctor to be imprisoned and potentially executed in return for her life with John Proctor. Abigail abuses the power of the court when she falls into suspicion. Mary Warren, do you witch with her? She manipulates the hysteria already present in the court to condemn Mary and, by association, John. Act 4. Danforth abuses the power of the court in order to protect himself from the theocracy. Postponement Howell speaks of floundering in my part. Danforth reveals the extent abuse of power when he openly threatens John in order to get what he wants. Theocracy. Act 1. The girls unjustly name innocent people in order to save themselves. Aye, sir, and Goody Osborne. Regardless of how questionable the accusations of the girls may be to the audience, the theocracy accepts the accusations as it suits their agenda to rid the town of dissent. Act 2. The theocracy has the power of life and death over the inhabitants of Salem. Elizabeth mentioning. Oh, the noose is up. John's affair leads to Elizabeth being accused. Elizabeth's fear proves to be well-founded, as within 10 pages of action, Cheever and Herrick arrive to arrest her. Act 3. Theocracy has come in order for people to protect themselves from dissent and rebellion. You're the devil's man. I'll not hang with you. Mary crumbles and condemns John Proctor in order to align herself with the rest of the girls. Act 4. Wanting John to confess in order to maintain the authority of the theocracy. You shall be blessed in heaven for this. Danforth's relief that the court will be validated and his position strengthened by John's confession is clear. Hysteria. Act 1. Abigail advises Paris to speak to the villagers to reassure them that what ails Betty is not witchcraft. The rumour of witchcraft is all about. The town is very aware of God and the devil, and at the slightest rumour the whole town is in turmoil. Act 2. Mary Warren explains why Goody Osborne is set to hang. I hear a voice, a screaming voice. Here we see Mary Warren's irrational state of mind when describing something that didn't happen to John. Act 3. Danforth blames Mary Warren for the hysterical reaction of the girls. Do you confess this power? Danforth's physical intimidation of Mary Warren is clearly an overreaction and shows just how out of control the situation has become. Act 4. Danforth inhales hysterical reaction to John Proctor tearing the confession. Man, you will hang. You cannot. Although John Proctor is being logical, it is Danforth inhales reaction that highlights the theme to the audience.